with the internal structure again, which I told you that we will study about the valves and the other structures. So in this structure you can see the internal structure of heart, where we will talk about the valves. The right auricle, the opening of the right auricle into right ventricle is guarded by a specific type of valve which is known as tricuspid valve. This valve is having 3 cups or 3 cusps, that's why it is known as tricuspid valve. So the flow of blood from the right auricle to the right ventricle is guarded by this valve. Similarly, in the left side of the heart or the left side chambers, here the left auricle, the opening of the left auricle into left ventricle is guarded by again the same type of valve which is known as bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve is having 2 cusps, and the flow of the blood is maintained due to or with the help of this type of valve. Now children, there are 2 different valves also present in the heart. The semilunar valve, which is present or which is guarding the opening of this particular ventricle, that is right ventricle, into the pulmonary artery. So the flow of blood from right ventricle to pulmonary artery is guarded by this semilunar valve. Semilunar valve is having 3, these valves are 3 in number. So semilunar valve are 3 in number. Another set of valves present here, that is present the opening of the left ventricle into aorta. The opening of left ventricle into aorta is managed by again a 3 set of valve, or the valves are 3 in number, which are known as the semilunar valve, or they are known as aortic semilunar valve. The valve is known as aortic semilunar valve. So children, one more point is there. As I told you that the chambers, the right side of the heart, the left side of the heart is separated from the right side of the heart with the help of a membrane which is known as septum. Similarly, here the 4 chambers of heart are separated by these 2 chambers, means the right auricle and the right ventricle. These 2 chambers are separated by an opening which is known as auriculoventricular aperture. So the auriculoventricular aperture is present just between the right auricle and right ventricle. And similarly, these 2 chambers which are present at the left side of the heart, that is left auricle and left ventricle, these 2 chambers are connected, or you can say separated, with the help of another set of aperture which is known as auriculoventricular aperture. So here it is left auriculoventricular aperture, and on the right side it is right auriculoventricular aperture. So this is how we have understood how the blood in the heart is remaining separated, means the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood do not mix together, and the chambers are also separated. Okay. So children, now we will talk about the major blood vessels associated with the heart. The major blood vessels associated with heart, you can see here, these are the vessels in the upper diagram also. These are the vessels. Now the first major blood vessel that is associated with the heart is known as aorta. You can see here, aorta is the major blood vessel, and this is the main artery which carries oxygenated blood, and this is originating from the left ventricle. So this vessel is originating from the left ventricle, carrying oxygenated blood, and it carries oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. Now coming to the different another blood vessel, that is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is another major blood vessel which is leaving from left atrium. This particular blood vessel is leaving from right ventricle, not leaving from left atrium, it is leaving from right ventricle. This is the right ventricle, and it is leaving from right ventricle. This artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Now when this particular blood vessel is originating from the heart, this particular blood vessel and this part of the blood vessel is known as pulmonary trunk. So pulmonary trunk is a single blood vessel which is originating from the right ventricle, carrying deoxygenated blood, but but after a very short distance it is divided or bifurcated into two vessels which are known as pulmonary artery, and pulmonary arteries on their right and left side carrying deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification. So in the lungs the blood is purified means oxygenated. Now pulmonary vein, here in this diagram you can see it, the pulmonary veins here, because it is present at the back of the heart. Now in this diagram you can see this is the back side of the heart, back view of the heart, and these are the pair of pulmonary veins. One is going to the left lung, one is coming from the left lung and other one is coming from the right side of the lungs, right? So this pulmonary vein is carrying oxygenated blood and it is pouring the oxygenated blood, these veins pouring oxygenated blood into the left auricle. So oxygenated blood by the pulmonary veins from the lungs is poured into the left auricle. Now another type of blood vessel which is supplying blood to the muscles of the heart. This particular blood vessel is known as coronary artery. Now this is the external view of the heart. In the external view of the heart, this is showing the muscular wall or the external part of the heart. Here these vessels you can see these vessels. The red ones are coronary artery and the blue ones are the coronary vein. So it is very well understood that the red one is coronary artery which is supplying oxygenated blood to the muscles of the heart, and the blue ones are the coronary vein which are taking or which are receiving deoxygenated blood from the muscles of the heart. Now one more pair of major blood vessel is the vena cava. The vena cava means there are two vena cava which are opening into right atrium. The two vena cava opening into right atrium, the one which is bringing deoxygenated blood from the upper body parts, that is shoulder and head, is known as superior vena cava. This is superior vena cava bringing deoxygenated blood from upper body parts, and this is inferior vena cava or the post caval blood vessel which is bringing deoxygenated blood again to the right auricle, and these two are the major veins or the vena cava. These two are bringing deoxygenated blood from upper and lower body parts. So children, we have understood about the external part of the heart, the chambers of the heart, the vessels of the heart, and the valves and the chamber separation, and the type of and the deoxygenated and oxygenated blood. So we have completed with the structure of the heart. Now in next lecture or next video we can have the sinoatrial node.